Are you sick and tired of losing the house you love because you're losing in multiple offer situations? Follow these 6 strategies to help put you ahead of the competition to win. What's up, guys? My name is Mike Pinson. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 6 strategies to help position you to win a bidding war on a house in Calgary. But before we get started, if you want to learn more about Calgary real estate and what it's like living and moving here, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. The market in Calgary is hot right now. Although it's still not comparable to a Toronto or Vancouver market, 2021 was a record year. We saw just over 27,000 properties change hands, which is 44% higher than the 10-year average. And with little supply and high demand, this has resulted in a lot of bidding wars. In today's video, I wanted to just share a couple tips and strategies with you to help put you in a better position to win. But before you ever even get to the point of writing an offer, you want to make sure that you are prepared. Now, the first part of this is making sure that you've completed a pre-approval with a mortgage professional so you know how much you qualify for, but even more importantly, you need to know what number it is that you're most comfortable with. It can be very emotional when you're competing with 3, 4, 5 plus buyers on a home, and sometimes people get a little bit carried away in spending more than they should. So find out what your number is and stick to it. And just to give you an example of this, let's say your number is 600,000. Well, when you're shopping, you're probably going to want to start looking at homes that are under 600,000, because if you do end up in a multiple offer situation, you've got some money to play around with. The second part of this is you want to make sure you're educated on the market before you start shopping. You want to know what the market conditions are like so you know what it's going to take to get the home of your dreams, and your realtor can help you with this as well. When you're in a bidding war, you want to put your best foot forward, as usually you only get one shot and there's no negotiating. The first tip and most obvious is to offer a higher price. Now, believe it or not, the highest price doesn't always win, but in most cases that can be the determining factor. When it comes to price, this will vary depending on how many people you are competing with. For example, if there's only one buyer versus if there's 3, 4, or 5 plus, your offer will change. Now, you're also going to want to make sure that you've reviewed all of the comparable home sales in the area to give you an idea of what things are selling for, but you don't want to get too caught up in this, because in a seller's market where there's very little supply, a home might have sold maybe a month or 2 ago that's very similar to the one that you're looking at, and it might have sold for a less price. But if you're competing with multiple other buyers on this home and there's not really anything else similar on the market, there's a very good chance that that home is going to sell for a higher price. So you have to decide how much you're going to be willing to pay for the home of your dreams. The second tip is to offer a higher deposit. A higher deposit usually signals to the seller that you're in a strong financial position to close on the home. And if you're competing with other people, if they all have a lower deposit, this will definitely make your offer stand out. The third tip is to be flexible. Find out what is important to the seller and try to accommodate it as best as you can. For example, if they want maybe a 60 or 90-day closing date, you should try your best to work with that, because the more you can accommodate to their needs, the more attractive your offer is to them. And again, the higher likelihood it is that they will work with you over the competition. The fourth tip is having no or fewer conditions. If you're able to pay cash and willing to forego a home inspection, this will definitely put your offer at the top of the list. Sometimes a seller will actually choose to work with an unconditional offer, even if it's not even the highest price, but it's just enough for them to know, hey, my house is sold. I don't need to worry about hoping the conditions are going to go through. Next to that, if you pay cash but you want a home inspection condition, try to keep it as short as possible. And if you are going to have conditions like financing and property inspection, the first tip on that is make sure that you keep in communication with your mortgage professional so you can find out how quickly they think that they're able to get it done. And same thing with your home inspection. I always recommend to call the home inspector of your choice to find out how soon they would be able to do a home inspection, and tentatively book a time with them as well, so that when you go to present your offer, you can let them know, hey, we've already got our home inspection booked, we are ready to go. Now with this one, it's important to understand what your risk tolerance is. Some people would be totally okay with doing an unconditional offer, others not so much. So know where your comfort level stands with that. Tip number 5, make sure there's nothing missing in your paperwork. Now this is more the responsibility of your real estate agent, but little things like this matter. And if you write an offer and there's dates missing or something is not entered in correctly, this could result in you losing the offer. And I've seen this happen before where you might have 2 identical offers, but one of them, the paperwork is a little bit sloppy and that kills the deal. They end up working with the other people. So make sure all the addresses, dates, legal descriptions, realtor and seller information is all entered in there correctly. My 6th and final tip is to be in it to win it. You got to do what it takes to win in a market like this. And if you're going into a competing offer situation thinking that somehow the offer is going to be more in favor to you and you're not willing to work with the seller, you're going to lose every single time, and you're just going to continue being frustrated and never getting the home that you want. So that's why I said it's important to understand the current market conditions and just really decide if it's the right time for you right now. I mean, if you're really somebody that all you care about is getting a deal, then now is probably not the right time for you to start looking for a home. But if it is really important to you and you know this going into it and you're willing to do what it takes, but not putting yourself in a situation that you're gonna regret later, it might take writing a few offers before you win, but I promise you, if you follow these strategies, at some point you will get the home of your dreams. So that is all I've got for you guys. If you have any other questions regarding the Calgary real estate market, feel free to drop a comment below, or you can personally reach out to me. All of my contact information is in the description below.